Hi, listener. It is I, Eric J. Chucci, here to bring you a helpful message. The following Two Nerds podcast experiences a lot of nasty peaks in audio. So if you're using headphones, please exercise caution and turn that down just a little bit, or use your speakers. Thank you, and enjoy the program. Greetings and salutations, listener. It is I, Eric J. Chucky, joined, as always, by my rival, who is a human when I'm a god, or by the boy.
Were you really making the parallel that I am Batman to your
Well,
Superman?
I wasn't gonna...
No, I'm okay. It means I'm Batman.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna take Batman from you. I'm a good friend.
I like Batman. If that
Gogamus,
wasn't clear.
The Gogamus is here too, knocking some shit around. I don't know if he's going to pick up.
He wants to be a guest. It's fine.
He just can't speak human. But it's Two Nerds podcast talking about San Diego Comic-Con 2015. That was the most Chicago way I could have said the words Comic-Con.
San Diego Comic-Con.
Comic-Con. Everyone had some hot dogs. Before we get started, there are links in the description. You can buy my books. You can go to Shining Wasato Super Blizzard Bandcamp page, buy up Let's Get Hardcore and all the other songs. Let's Get Hardcore is our theme music. And if you also want to go buy, I want to say Shovel Knight, but he totally didn't make Shovel Knight. What the fuck? Joy Lancer. If you want to buy Joy Lancer, that would make him smile in his happy place. But other than that, let's bounce into it. Now, the boy, you have had more time to do research. I've been working. So why don't you lead us off in this voyage into entertainment?
It's a little far to go, I'd say. Voyage into mildly informative.
All right. Well, okay. You know what? Let's let the listener decide. All right, listener? If you feel like this podcast, when you've listened to it, is a voyage into entertainment, hit the like button. And if you feel like it's just informative and a little entertaining, hit the like button, and then we'll tally the votes at the end and see who was right.
Listener, you don't know this, but half the comedy from that whole bit was the real, genuine earnestness on his face when he said we'll tally the votes. He made, like, you know that good eye contact they tell you as a leader to make with people? Make good, solid eye contact, but not too long. Be earnest and forthright. He, like, pulled a full-on self-help novel right out his ass and was like, we'll tally the votes. It was such, and you can't, because it's audio. It is. It's tragedy.
And even if it was video, my eyes are so small and beady that they'd just be like, the black pits of despair gazed upon me for a moment.
But, I was not about the podcast. I was talking about Comic-Con.
Yeah. This was kind of a dry Comic-Con.
Like, it's not that cool stuff didn't happen.
But, like, compared to last year's when it was like, everybody gets a movie.
And big news everywhere and all that shit. There wasn't much of that this year. At least not that I could find. I didn't go because I don't live in fucking San Diego and I don't have money for a plane ticket. And even if I did, I wouldn't go to Comic-Con, I'd go to PAX. But that's neither here nor there. So I only have what the internet gives me, and the internet has been surprisingly fucking taciturn about this Comic-Con, which tells me not much fucking happened.
Like, it was a lot of good news, but it wasn't anything mind-blowing.
Shit is proceeding apace. Yeah. Everything is going as planned. Good. Moving on. No big revelations, just everything continues well.
All right, well, that was the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed.
No. There is some stuff that we did catch that we're probably going to end up talking about today. The first thing I probably want to bring up is the thing that caught my eye the most in a positive way, I will say.
All right. Positive eyes.
Yeah. It was the Deadpool trailer and Deadpool movie. Now, I bring this up for a couple different reasons. The first of which is to tell you that I honestly didn't really intend to watch this trailer. Because White and myself we both do this thing where if we already know we're going to go see a movie, we don't bother watching the trailers. Because there's no need to. We already know we're going to go see the movie.
Well, if we already know we want to go see the movie.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm going to go see Batman versus Superman and the Infinite Sadness.
Yeah, because Batman's in it. We're gonna fucking go. Even if I think the movie would be... Even if I genuinely thought the movie was gonna be the worst thing to happen to me in my entire life, I would go.
And I was planning on seeing the Suicide Squad either way. So
Just to put money in doing the Suicide Squad?
No, just because we do this thing every week. I don't know if you've noticed, but we do this thing every week where we sit down and talk about stuff, like nerd stuff.
I thought we were just having conversations as friends.
No, man, we don't like each other at all.
Other people listen to this?
Yeah.
Oh, God!
2 or 3. No, there is at present 40 of you, and I love each and every one of you in your own individual ways.
Magical snowflakes, listener.
And you know what? If you just want to just give me a thumbs up to let me know that you appreciate that I love you, that'd be keen.
You're going ham on the like button today.
It's, I wouldn't, but they're not.
Oh, shots fired.
Oh.
Speaking of shots fired.
Bam! That segue was shiny and new right out of the box. You could drive that thing across Epcot.
There you go. The Deadpool, I watched the Deadpool panel, and they hyped up the movie enough that I was like, you know what? I gotta see this trailer. Because at this point, having heard the director talk, and having heard the rest of the cast talk, I'm a little, my legs are a little shakier than they were beforehand. And it's not that I thought they were telling me bad things, it's that they were telling me really, really good things, and I don't believe people when they say that shit. You're being too nice. Yeah. That means you want something.
This is an amazing piece of film, is Hollywood for saying, this is a poop movie, but watch it.
Look, it's not going to win Oscars. It's not going to be a riveting drama, along the lines of, Captain America, The Winter Soldier. What it's going to be is an incredibly fucking fun, incredibly well-made movie that stays true to the spirit of the comic book character, if that trailer is to be believed, in the most absolutely linear and completely by-the-book way. And that's a compliment that I've seen from a comic book adaptation. They are as true to the character of Deadpool as the Captain America movies are to the spirit of Captain America. And
that's good. And now this is Fox doing this, right?
Yeah, it's Fox, the same people who do all the X-Men movies.
Okay.
They tell a funny story during the panel. This has been in the making for like 11 years.
Oh, yeah.
That's how long Ryan Reynolds and the director have been bothering them every week. They call people, they email, they text. They have literally been spamming the executives at Fox for 11 years to get this movie made.
Good.
And you know what finally did it? The director shared this. The thing that finally made the executives Fox go, and as far as I can tell, this was near a direct quote. I mean, you can make the movie if you want. Was when they leaked that test footage. That was still, that was still test footage.
Yeah,
that was not guaranteed. No. But then they leaked the test footage, and the internet fucking exploded. And Fox was like, "Oh, people actually do want to watch this movie? People will actually pay us large sums of money to see it? Oh, well, yeah, then make it.
Yeah, we like money.
We like money.
You didn't tell us there was going to be money.
You just tell us good story, great character. Not there will be money." But, so...
now, I will say, because I thought of this earlier today, when we were, warming up for this podcast. We don't usually do that, but there's a lot of...
It was a lot of shit that we talk about in our private time anyway.
Yeah. Usually we're kind of, not boycotty, but violently less interested in Fox Marvel movies because...
Hey, I'm a capitalist at heart. If I don't like your business practices, I'm not going to support you. I'm not going to pay you to keep doing what you're doing if I don't like what you're doing. I don't like what Fox does with their rights. Sony was nice enough to make a deal. Marvel does way better with their own properties because they know them better. Fucking Fox, you and I have a problem. I'm tired of your X-Men movies. I don't think they're very good. And
no, I mean, to be fair, we haven't seen any of the ones that people say are really fucking good.
No, we haven't seen anything since X3 because the Wolverine, X-Men Origins Wolverine, was so goddamn insulting to me as a fan and as a human being that I have not watched one since. And I didn't even see that movie. I just saw bits of it.
I walked in on somebody watching it and found out Wolverine and Sabretooth were brothers and went, okay, well, goodbye.
We're done. We're done.
I'm sorry, you can fuck with a lot of stuff, but that's unnecessary. And that leaches into a lot of the other things that I've been Dunsville with over the last couple weeks, months, years. You know, when you do stuff for the sake of just being dramatic, no, I'm sorry. Tell a good story. A good story will be dramatic. You don't need to have stupid shit.
You don't need twists. This is not Shamalam Town, okay?
But, that being said, I'm glad Fox seems to be doing Deadpool justice.
And they basically did it by giving the reins over to Ryan Reynolds and this guy, and just saying go nuts. They basically had no oversight from what they said.
B, and I'm going to try to make these sentences sound as non-indie shitlord as possible, but I will fail. I'm glad Marvel doesn't have the rights to Deadpool right now, because I'd be super afraid that much like the comic book world, Deadpool would be the new Wolverine.
He'd just be in fucking everything.
And I like Deadpool. I like Deadpool in the comics, but I'm tired of it.
He doesn't need to be in every comic.
He's everywhere. It's like fart jokes. And you and I have had this conversation privately a lot, but any sort of bathroom humor, pee-pee, boogers, what have you. Yeah, they're funny when used right and sparingly. But if some motherfucker is just making toot sounds every opportunity, you're not gonna want to hear those jokes anymore. You're not trying hard enough, and you are making me view the same material over and over again.
And you know what? Even if they're incredibly well-crafted, any joke rammed into the fucking earth stops being funny.
And that's what, Deadpool as a character is. He's not a joke, but he's a funny character, and, all that dynamic energy of Deadpool being special is ruined when he's everywhere, because he's no longer special. He's the ubiquitous Deadpool.
He's like Wolverine was in the 90s and 2000s. That's a really good comparison.
Yeah. Now, I'm glad he's not over there. It lets characters like Rocket Raccoon shine. It lets characters like
And the same reason that if they had the properties, if they had the X-Men and Fantastic Four, we would not have gotten an Ant-Man movie.
Yeah,
we wouldn't be getting a Doctor Strange movie if they had Wolverine and Storm, and we wouldn't be getting the Scarlet Witch. Probably wouldn't have been in the Avengers for how big she is in the Avengers, because the fucking X-Men would have been available.
Right. So, that's a good way to think of that too, but especially with Deadpool. I'm glad he's over there in Foxland.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know that I agree, but I am actually glad for a different reason. I'm glad that Deadpool's over there because I don't think Marvel would have done it as an R. This movie's a hard R rating.
That's true.
I don't think Disney and Marvel would have done that. I think they would have gone for PG-13, and it wouldn't have been as good.
I think it would have been a hard PG-13 because they don't fuck around.
No, but there's a lot of F-bombs, both in the panel and in the movie, from what I understand.
Yeah.
They actually made a joke about it because the movie's an R, so on the back of all their nameplates, all the little name fold-over pieces of paper they give them,
mm-hmm.
They wrote, the staff at Comic-Con wrote, please remember that many members of the audience of your audience in this Hall H are going to be under 18 years of age, and direct your behavior accordingly. The guy who's playing Weasel then promptly made a series of horse-fucking jokes.
Who's playing Weasel?
Shit, I forgot. It's a good cast. I'm gonna pull it up, but I'm
mostly curious about Weasel and, what's her name? The old lady. The old blind lady. Blind something.
You know what?
Al? Blind Al, I think?
I don't think she was at the panel, so I don't know.
Oh, man. Well, anyway, while you're looking that up, I happened to catch some footage, speaking of Fox and X-Men and Marvel, of the X-Men Apocalypse trailer. It was like 15 seconds of it. I mostly wanted to see a shot of Apocalypse. He looks slightly different, but he doesn't look bad.
Does he look like comic book Apocalypse?
Kinda, actually.
Okay, that's surprising.
Yeah.
In Zabanurs, that's all right.
Well, and from what I read from the transcript of the trailer, it sounds really interesting. They kept the look of Nightcrawler, even though they got a new actor, and he's going to be in this movie. So that's pretty cool. That's nice.
Yeah, I know they probably did this for X-Men Apocalypse. I know they did it for Deadpool because he's in it. They kept the look of Colossus.
Okay, cool.
Which is nice.
And Wolverine is stepping down.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman. He's no longer going to be playing Wolverine after his next Wolverine movie, which I believe is Old Man Logan.
Which is an appropriate one to go out on.
Yeah, and I'm cool with that. I think Hugh Jackman did a damn fine job for when he became Wolverine.
For the character that he was given to play, he's a good guy.
And I like him as a person, but...
T.J. Miller is the guy playing Weasel.
That name seems familiar.
I probably should. He was in a lot of stuff that we haven't watched.
Oh, well then.
He's been a voice actor in a bunch of stuff. Like he's the voice actor for Robbie in Gravity Falls. He was a concierge in Get Him to the Greek. Let's see here. Cloverfield, that's what I was looking for.
Oh, he's going to be such a good Weasel.
He was HUD, yeah.
Yeah, no, I knew exactly who you were talking about. Oh, dude, that's so cool. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's why it's so far the fuck down his list. Yeah, that was his first motion picture.
Yeah.
He launched a career off that shit.
That's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to that even more than I was before. I didn't see the trailer, but Boyd told me there were some funny jokes in it, and that's primarily why I didn't want to watch it, because...
He wants the jokes to be clean,
yeah,
pure.
I want the jokes to be...
And they're Deadpool-ass jokes.
Yeah.
Fourth wall-breaking jokes. Now, in terms of the jokes, the fourth wall-breaking jokes Ryan Reynolds made at the panel...
he tossed some shade out.
He fired some shots across the bow at a couple different properties. One of the first things he said was, "So, I've only ever been in one full superhero movie." Which, ouch.
You know, I still haven't seen Green Lantern.
He talks about how he's even when he was doing other stuff, he's never been in a superhero costume before, because before he didn't have a costume. It was all CG. So he's never experienced being in the super suit, because the Deadpool costume is practical.
Really?
Yep. And like he made a couple other shots, the minor ones. But the big other shot he threw out was, yeah, no, this movie's definitely in the spirit of the character. This is not an exact quote. Till this point. It's the Merc with the mouth. And at no point during this movie and that mouth at no point in this movie will be sewn shut.
Yeah, I didn't. Like I said, all I saw of X-Men Origins Wolverine was like the first 5 minutes.
Dude Peel is not my most favorite thing to happen in the world, okay?
No. That's pretty funny. We every time we do a superhero movie podcast, it seems like we mention that we haven't seen those newer X-Men movies.
You want to just get on that?
Maybe we should just watch them.
Like
maybe
starting with, from what I understand, it starts getting good at
X-Men
First Class.
First Class, yes.
And then they reboot the continuity with the subsequent movies, Days of Futures Past, to fix the continuity problems they inserted.
And then wasn't there another one before Apocalypse?
I think so, but I'm not sure.
No,
well, we can look it up. I mean, I wouldn't be against that. I wouldn't like. I'd want to see if there's like a Netflix or maybe a local movie store, like a local video store we could rent them from.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to give Fox money for those.
No, I don't really want to either. Man, this wasn't a Comic-Con, but we saw it when we went to see Jurassic World. Fantastic Four looks shitty.
Dude, I'm not watching that fucking movie.
No. And I'm not... Look, okay, we had our back and forth about Black Human Torch.
Yeah.
Is this necessary? Aren't there other black heroes that you could be promoting to give us some... other shit.
To be fair, Fox doesn't have the rights to any of them.
Well, I mean, that is fair. That's a good way to look at it. But we talked about it back and forth, and in the end, watching that trailer, it seems very natural.
Yeah, that's not the problem.
It's a blind casting sort of situation, and that's very clear, and good for them. Fine,
yeah,
it
fine.
works.
You know what? I'm sure he's a great Johnny. I'm sure he's a great Johnny Storm. He has, from what I saw in that trailer, the right personality traits to be Johnny Storm. He's kind of cocky and kind of a prick. That's all you really need.
But he's got that heart.
Yeah, so, but here's the thing. That movie looks fucking terrible, and I, as a Fantastic Four fan, for listener who might have heard our other podcasts, I'm real fucking offended by it. I really don't like the changes they made, and I'm not seeing that movie. And I encourage you to not see that movie.
This is what makes me insane more than anything else. In the first Fantastic Four movie, as mediocre as they were,
completely mediocre, yes.
The Fantastic Four were fine.
They fucked up Doom.
So, what they do in the reboot, relaunch, reimaginification is they fuck up the Fantastic Four very slightly, mostly just Reed.
Yeah, Ben Grimm doesn't seem right either, but also
Well,
they're all 12, and that makes me bothered.
Yeah. And then they fuck up Dr. Doom even harder.
How hard is it to do Dr. Victor Von Doom? He's a very simple character. He is a vengeance-driven, scientist, supervillain, sorcerer, leader, and ultimate dictator of his own tiny Eastern European nation. I don't see why that's difficult to get across.
Well,
that doesn't seem convoluted or weird at all.
Well, okay, but, like, he's still not, like, they invent... Alright, now, look at it this way, okay? This is where I hope this came from. I'm sure it didn't, but let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Okay, they're sitting down at a meeting, and they're like, all right, we gotta figure out what we're doing with Doom, because his comic book story is weird. And we might not be able to get casual fans with that, because I believe this was concepted before Guardians of the Galaxies would hit. So you didn't have that kind of momentum going where, comic fans will accept fucking anything?
They'll buy Groot and Rocket Raccoon?
Oh, well, shit, okay, whatever. Throw it at the table, who cares? Okay, so let's take away the Latveria thing, alright? We can leave it open for later, okay? But let's take it away and just make him a genius who has powers. Now, the Fantastic Four is based so much around science and this and that, so let's make the powers come from that science. Now, what is he doing? Why does he hate Reed? Now, we don't want to do the old trite, who took my college, who took my girlfriend things that we've done before.
Who took my college, who took my girlfriend, who hurt my precious, precious, beautiful face.
We need to give it some real pathos. What if he was just a dick in the first place and he's elite hacksaws?
I want to slap you.
And
like, by proxy.
Right? But, and that's it coming from a pure place. I'm sure this was, some executive mandate, because I've seen some of the sheets that come down from high up, for the last Spider-Man movie. Oh my god.
But, I want to get back on topic.
Yeah, let's
talk
about Comic-Con, which is actually, while underwhelming, good overall.
The Deadpool trailer really got me hype. I really am excited, more excited than I was for that movie when to be fair, I was kind of sure it would never happen. But
yeah,
it seems like it's actually going to be a thing. They're done. There's done scenes. There's enough for a trailer at least. But to the less positive of these experiences, you want to do Suicide Squad or Batman and the Infinite Sadness first?
I think we're going to rant about Suicide Squad a little less, so let's go ahead and get that out of the way.
Alright. Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. The trailer looks interesting. I really like the tonality they went with it. I like the song. I like the cover specifically. I've heard the song before. The character interpretations all seem fine. Croc looks a little weird. But not as bad as Ben Grimm does in Fantastic Four, so... When I saw the screenshots of that, Ben Grimm, that is to say, I didn't think it looked bad. I was like, oh, that's okay. When you see the emotion, you're like, oh, that's poop. He is a poop. He's a poop monster. No wonder
that's the Golgothan. That's the Golgothan from Dogma.
Yeah. But he looks a little weird, Croc does. It's not awful. It's just like, oh, that's Croc? Okay. Well.
They're going real crocky.
Yeah. Will Smith looks like he's going to be really cool in this.
Yeah, I like Will Smith as Deadshot. That looked cool. I buy that wholeheartedly.
I am over being furious about Amanda Waller. However, I am still furious. I just can move on with my life. She's not
as hefty.
She is thin, and she is very milky for a black lady.
I don't know. She was. I mean,
well, it was dark in the scene. I've seen her actress elsewhere.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, you know what? Hey, light-skinned girls got to get play too. I'm not hating on that. It's just, when you're doing Hollywood casting and you stick to that stupid inherent trope of, well, we got to market only to white people. And then you take away all her fats, her big beefy muscle fats. As I told the boy in the kitchen when he's like, what would you have done? I was like, there's 3 women on Orange is the New Black you could have cast.
Tasty would have done a great job, yeah.
Easy. But whatever. I'm over it.
Yeah, it was never gonna be
you're right.
It was never gonna be the big powerful woman.
I was over it before the movie came out. Someone told me, oh, she doesn't look like she's supposed to. And I went, I would be upset about this, but this is so expected, I am already gotten over it.
Of course she doesn't. I would love it if she were the giant, powerful, like, thunderous black woman that she is, because that's a great character, and I love her.
She's so awesome, yeah.
Like, she's one of the few characters who can believably just go eye to eye with Batman, and I buy it. I buy that she's not intimidated at all, even a little bit.
No, she's so
She's just
awesome.
like, I will wreck you. I will wreck you, tiny white man.
That's
what happens.
I love that one cartoon movie you watched where Lex was all, like, crazy because he was going to die or whatever.
And, like, he wanted to, like, get up on Amanda Waller.
That was so funny.
And she was so completely weirded out. Not even gross out, just fucking scared and
to
a
see
little
that character
unnerved.
taken off guard is so hilarious.
Because she's always, like, so on point.
Oh, man. But anyway, I think I'm going to like the character in this film for what she is, but I don't like this interpretation of Harley. I can separate the two, because I never thought we were going to get Harley as Harley either.
No, dude, it was never, like...
But hey, they're close. She's kind of got the voice going, and that's way more than I ever thought was going to happen.
Look, she still has a whole movie to act, because the only real thing she's missing is she doesn't seem as cracked as she should be.
Well, and she seems really strung out, and that's what I'm kind of like, meh. This whole movie has this vibe of extra grittiness layered over that I'm just sort of...
We'll get to that, motherfucker.
Well, and we're about to, because that's really the last thing I have to say. Tonally, it seems cool. So far, the casting seems really good, and I think I will probably enjoy this movie for the most part.
Are you ready for my take on it, listener?
And then there's Jared Leto.
Oh my god. Look, I am a Mark Hamill purist. At the end of the day, when I read comic books, that's whose voice I hear. I grew up with Batman the Animated Series, more so even than the movie. And I never really thought of that as the Joker. That was always Jack Nicholson, even when I was a little kid. But, okay, I am willing to open myself to new interpretations. Fucking Bender. What's his name?
John DiMaggio.
John DiMaggio. I always say Joe DiMaggio, and no, that's a baseballman. John DiMaggio did a good job as the Joker in Batman Under the Red Hood. He was perfectly serviceable. I didn't hate on it.
I didn't care for it.
Yeah. I mean...
but that's because John DiMaggio is hard to not be John DiMaggio.
He's kind of doing Bender all the time.
Yeah. He's just got the one voice. He just does different things with it.
But...
I would say the Joker from Batman the Brave and the Bold...
that's a very different Joker.
It's a very different interpretation of Joker, but it's
I got no problems with it.
No.
The Joker from Batman Arkham Origins. When I heard him, that's not the reason I don't want to play that game. He was doing a great Joker. The Batman and the storyline were the reason I didn't want to play that game. But okay, and I was never the guy who said Heath Ledger, he can't be the Joker. I said Heath Ledger. Shit, that sounds interesting. And I do, yup. But
chalk one up for the boy.
Jared Leto. I saw Jared Leto as the Joker. Saw him with his giant hobo beard, which was the picture that was going around when I heard it. Okay, sure, fine. That seems reasonable.
Well, and I knew some about the fellow who does so many things. Like, can you even pin down what he is anymore? Musician, actor, etc.
He's a guy.
And I was like, okay, yeah, that should be fine.
Then they showed me the picture. And no me gusta. No me gusta, mid-2000s Hot Topic Joker.
Well, and I think before we get too far into le jokes, I think you summed it up really good earlier. This guy is trying really hard. And the whole thing about the Joker is he doesn't try hard to be cool.
He's just that's who he is. He's being blisteringly, brutally honest with the world. This is how he sees the world. This is how he sees himself. There is no artifice there. Jared Leto's Joker is such a fucking tryhard. And I'm gonna be honest, more so than any of that, because the Joker's a weird guy. In the comics, he recently literally carved his own face off to make a point.
He might have gotten those tattoos ironically.
Yeah, I could understand that. Even the grills, I could understand him just doing it for a joke. Just to fuck with Batman. But...
What'll Bat say if I got grills? Getting them.
Let's find out.
Look, Batman, I got bleeding teeth. Ugh.
But, okay, The voice when you do the Joker is very important. Regardless of what voice you end up using, even fucking the Batman Joker, the voice was not the reason I disliked him. I disliked him because he was a fucking orangutan. But
It was a weird Joker.
the voice wasn't the problem, okay? The voice needs to have a couple different things. It needs to have energy. It needs to have a manic sort of insane energy to it. It needs to have menace. Even the most lighthearted Joker needs to sound menacing. You need to be aware that this is a bad person who will do bad things. And it needs to have joy. Because ultimately, he's really happy with his life and what he does. Jared Leto's Joker, like 4 seconds of it, so maybe they just gave me all the wrong cuts, has fucking none of that, and I hate his laugh. His laugh sounds like the mom from Bob's Burgers.
No, I was okay with the voice. I think the laugh is a bit odd, but again, it's hard to make a call on that when you only have a few seconds.
Yeah.
Because you know what, like you said about Heath Ledger, that works in context, but when the Joker comes up and he's like, "Hi, I'm the Joker," you're like, "No."
But in the spirit, once you have the introduction of the movie, you feel the energy.
Sure.
And you know what? I might be wrong on this one. I will be so fucking happy if I'm wrong. You have no idea how happy I will be to go to that movie and be like, no, it's a weird voice, but in the context of the movie, totally fucking works. I will be so happy to be able to tell you that, listener, but I don't think it's going to be the case. I genuinely think this movie's going to blow. And I'm very sad for that.
You know, I think one of us is going to walk out enjoying it, and one of us is going to walk out unimpressed. Because I found when we react to hype for something with slightly different levels of interest, it's usually... Oh, you know what? I could be incorrect. I was going to say it's usually that, one of us is impressed and one isn't. Like Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm.
Like Man of Steel.
Right.
But there was an exception to that rule, and that was Ninja Turtles. I was hype as fuck, and you were like, this is going to be so bad. And I'm like, yeah, I'm really afraid it's going to be bad too, but I really hope it's going to be good.
And
it was good.
I went in full like, this is going to be awful. This is going to be terrible. But then, nope, wrong, amazing.
So, I mean, maybe this movie will take us by surprise. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a shit pile. Whatever. Either way, we're going to watch it.
Batman's in it, so I'll watch it.
And we're at least going to see, some good stuff. Because there was some good stuff there.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, we'll see, I'll see Deadshot fight Batman, probably. I'll see Killer Croc punch a motherfucker on the big screen!
Yeah.
Look, shitty Joker aside, the rest of the movie's probably going to be pretty cool. From my understanding, it's a pretty central role. So I don't have to deal with a lot of it. And that bridges into our next trailer.
Oh.
Batman versus Superman. Superman versus Batman. Man of Steel versus The Dark Knight. Batman and the Infinite Sadness. However you want to name it. I'm going to name it Justice League Origins. Because that's really what it is.
I'm going to call it, let's see how many mistakes we can make in one movie.
Okay, starting from the top. Batfleck, I got your back. Still, I don't think you're playing Batman anymore. Having watched the trailer, I think you're playing old-ass retired Batman whose family got killed in the Metropolis incident, who's real mad at Superman about it, and comes back for vengeance. That's the wrong place. That's not where the Batman should be coming from. That's bad. But, I still got your back, Bat. I still got your back, Ben. You the bomb and Phantoms, yo.
I don't. He looks good. He looks like Ben Affleck. I mean, he's fine. I could accept him as this character if he weren't Batman.
Just can't buy Ben Affleck as Batman?
No.
Just literally entirely based on him being Ben Affleck?
Well, I'm not usually that guy, but it's not like one of those things where I don't believe he can subsume the role. Having seen this, he's just not really.
gonna withhold judgment. I think the bitter ass Dark Knight Returns Batman he's going for is well within his wheelhouse.
Well, and it remains. I need to see him at length in the Iron Man suit to tell if he's really the Iron Man or not. Excuse me, Batman.
Hey, you know what? No, I'm sorry. Dark Knight Returns was a long time ago. That's the Dark Knight Returns suit.
Yeah, I just fucking. First of all, I think you're right. I mean, maybe not exactly, but the trailer very clearly suggests that this is an old ass Batman coming back for one more round.
Because some shit went down that he's not cool with.
If that's the case, that's the Batman we're getting in Batfleck 2 Electric Boogaloo and the Justice League.
That's weird.
Why go with that Batman?
Why go with old Bat? I mean, it's a new interpretation.
I guess. And maybe this gives them the opportunity to do Robin and shit like that, so whatever. But those are the noises I make with my face. Thing two, and as I admitted earlier today, this is fine casting. It is acceptable. Congratulations, you have hit par. This movie studio has enough money that they could have done better. And you asked me, as you often do, and as I often do to you, and I'm just going to hit plates. Sorry about that, listener. If I have a problem with it, how would I fix it? That's the most constructive way to deal with when you have bitching. Nerds out there. I mean, we all nerd rage, all right? In the back of your head, when you see a problem, when you see something you hate, think of a solution, because otherwise you're just not helping.
You're just making things worse and being a loud asshole.
Yeah.
If you have a problem, fix it. So even if it would never actually happen, give me a solution.
So how would this be better? I would have rather kept Christian Bale. I know he didn't want to stick around, though. Mm-hmm. And the studio wanted to move away from that Batman.
To be fair, I was kind of tired of the Bat voice anyway.
I never really liked the Bat voice that much in the first place, but I had become used to it.
Fair.
And his Bruce was really good.
That's true. His Bruce was real on point.
So you said, okay, who else? And I thought about it for a second and went, this is kind of a joke. But the more we thought about it, the more it was like, no, that would work. Mickey Rourke. Because we're drawing from angry old fat Frank Miller Batman. And
Mickey Rourke can get pretty beef. We've seen that many times.
Yes.
He's an old man, but still physically hale, hardy. He can do stunts. And
he's got that bitterness, that darkness.
The thing I think that would make it not a thing is he doesn't have the jawline. He's not, because Bruce Wayne's also supposed to be a very handsome
Well, yeah, but if he's old, he can have the saggy face a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or they can give him jaw putty. Look at fucking Marv.
That's fair. He's acted under a lot of makeup before.
And currently, which I imagine might be one of the reasons they didn't, think about him.
And also because Ben Affleck was fucking available.
Yeah, Ben Affleck was dancing around going, let me be the Batman, let me be the Batman, let me be the Batman.
Yeah, as Kevin Smith tells the story, he bought Ben Affleck's old house. And when he bought it, Ben Affleck showed him, or actually when Ben Affleck bought it, he said, I didn't have the money for a bat cave, so I inserted a bat closet. And behind a bookshelf with like a secret pull-out book, there was like a closet that he filled with stuff. He's wanted to be Batman. Look, when he was playing Daredevil, he was playing Batman. Okay? He wanted to be Batman for a long time. And I support Ben Affleck's dream, damn it.
I just don't. I'm glad you like Ben Affleck as much as you do, but I can't figure out why.
He's a nice guy.
He's okay.
He's a nice guy, and I think he's gonna do a better job than like 98% of the actors they would have hired for it.
I mean, you're probably
right. And I can
right
prove that empirically by telling you who they cast as fucking Lex Luthor.
Look, we were gonna give him a chance.
I specifically was like, you know what? I'm not gonna judge. I'm gonna wait to see something from him. We'll see if the kid from The Social Network can pull it off.
I believe, what is the quote? Motherfucking Jesse Eisenberg.
Motherfucking Jesse Eisenberg. Motherfucking Jesse Eisenberg. What the fuck was that performance that I just saw?
That was Jesse Eisenberg playing Jesse Eisenberg in a floppy red wig.
What the fuck was with the floppy red wig?
Just
like you're already doing old Batman. Just go ahead and make it fucking bald. What the fuck? Because we all know what that's gonna be. Superman's gonna do a thing. He's gonna overuse kryptonite trying to kill Superman, and his hair's gonna fall out. That's what's gonna happen. Just fucking make him bald. I'm tired of seeing that stupid fucking plot twist. Lex Luthor's bald. Just have him be fucking bald. It's an iconic look for the character. And if you're only doing as Jesse Eisenberg looks stupid bald, you should have fucking checked that before you cast Jesse Eisenberg.
Another casting suggestion that I made for Batman and Lex was Vincent D'Onofrio. Let him play both parts.
Vincent D'Onofrio's already the Kingpin.
He can be Kingpin too. Or, well, Kingpin 1, to be perfectly fair. And also Batman.
But, no.
I'd fucking take it.
But,
I'd be like, that's bold casting.
I encourage you to go watch that trailer just so you can understand how terrible that fucking performance is. What the fuck is that smarmy, smug asshole? And not in the way that you want Lex Luthor to be smarmy and smug. There's no menace. Again, there's no hatred. He doesn't seem like he hates Superman. That's the whole fucking point of the character. When he talks about Superman, there has to be that undercurrent of, I fucking hate this thing. Not a person, this thing, this alien. I hate it and I want it dead. That has to be the core. He has to be a hateful being, because that's what Lex Luthor is. He's a hateful person. And it's not there. He's just fucking the kid from The Social Network. And that's exactly what I thought he was going to do, and that's what he fucking did.
Well, at least you were right.
Yeah, super fucking duper.
We got to see some fucking out of context shots of Wonder Woman too. I don't know what the fuck was.
She got into a car and then clacked her bracelets together, and then there was an explosion.
It seemed to be from a different fucking movie. God, and my personal favorite character, Commissioner Alfred. There was a guy who looked like Commissioner Gordon, but had a British accent. I had no fucking clue who this character is.
Like, he looked a lot like Commissioner Gordon, too, down to, like, the gun strap.
And the hair floof that floofs in the wind.
He was Commissioner Alfred.
But he was British. I don't know what the fuck was going on.
Like, if they've actually combined Alfred and Commissioner Gordon together into one character...
I mean, neat. Okay, I'm interested. That sounds interesting. That's the most interesting fucking thing you've done so far, movie. But at the same time, what the fuck? You know what? I was reading a lot of tweets from a lot of people on the internet that I follow on Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter if you check the description. I rant about things a lot.
I say basically nothing.
Very little. But I was reading these tweets and somebody mentioned, it was one of two people and I can't remember, so I'm not going to name them. It's not because I don't want to name them. They mentioned that they thought this movie would be really good if it was just a, Superman is a god and how humanity turns on him storyline. Injecting Batman into it takes it away from humans and makes it a personal Batman story. That's not to say you can't have the personal Batman story, because Batman is a human in the end. But much like Man of Steel, this movie seems like, because we know the Justice League is coming, this movie seems like, Superman walks in, kicks Batman in the testicles 14 times with his Krypton kicks, and then an hour and a half later, they're best friends and start a crime-fighting gang. How and why? How and why?
That's the journey. That's the journey that they need to sell us.
But the journey, one of the stopping points on the journey is fucking motherfucking Jesse Eisenberg in a floppy ass clown wig.
God damn, that wig is stupid.
The capes are coming. The capes are coming.
Fucking.
I didn't even know what he was saying. Oh my god. How do you fuck up a performance that bad? Oh, Amy Adams. That's who's playing Lois Lane, right? That's the character or the actress's name.
Okay.
I think that's who that is, because there's an actress I really respect.
I can't remember. All I know is that I need to point this out. Fucking the 3-second out of context shot of Wonder Woman looks good. I like that Wonder Woman.
Yeah, you know what? And Perry is on point.
Yeah, Perry.
Good job.
Wonder Woman Perry, great job. Clark's mom, still great.
Oh, God, yeah. I'm like, as I was watching the trailer, I was like, fuck, at least she's still here. You anchor. You beacon of hope.
Fuck Superman, you're the beacon of hope for humanity.
Best character in the movie, her and fucking Margarita guy from Jurassic Park.
Commissioner Alfred, right up there.
Commissioner Alfred.
Master Bruce, I'm afraid I shall have to take you in for vigilantism. Yes.
Oh, fuck. What the fuck was I even on about? What was I on about, the boy? I was getting in a...
You were talking about Lois Lane?
Lois Lane, right. Look at her during the trailer. I have, at one point in my movie watching career, seen someone give less of a fuck about their performance. And that's when I went to see Not Another Date movie with Allison Hannigan. Because you can tell what order the scenes in that film were filmed by judging how much of a fuck Allison Hannigan does not give.
It's like, and if you were to, you could reorder it and just watch her slowly
and just
give
watch
up
her
on the
slowly
movie.
realize this is a shit pile and I'm here. My face is going to be committed to this digital Man, I hope How I Met Your Mother exists in like the next year or two because this is career fucking suicide.
Good for her that she's prognosticating good things for herself. Yeah. Works.
There are a lot of good visuals in the film. And it's at least gonna look nice.
If I wasn't too much of a fan of Batman and Superman, I actually really do like Superman. That can't be said enough. And the various DC properties and all that shit, and comics in general and superheroes. If I was just a guy going to the movies and could turn my brain off about this and not think about all the stupid fucking calls they made, I would probably walk out going, "That was fucking fun. That was fun. And that was cool. And Jesse Eisenberg was retarded." Because look, ain't no one gonna like that performance. I'm calling it now, no one's gonna like that shit. That was stupid. That was stupid and bad. And you should feel bad, Jesse Eisenberg, because you did that. You acted that scene. And you know what? If whoever directed it, is your boy still, right?
He just not allowed to touch Superman stuff, man.
Your boy, he directed that scene. He should feel bad too.
He should.
He directed The Red Capes Are Coming. The Red Capes Are Coming.
He had such a perfect record, though. I mean, you gotta fail at some point, right?
And you know what? If you're gonna, as John Tron said, if I can't be the best, I can sure as hell be the worst!
Oh, those peaks. I apologize, listener. I'm not gonna fix that. That's no fucking way I'm gonna remember 20 minutes from now. So I think that's enough about that. You really wanted to talk about the Star Wars panel.
Yeah!
The Force Rises.
The Force Awakens. The Force Awakens.
Luke, I'm your father. Stay a while and listen to the Force.
It's
funny because...
Yeah?
Because Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the Force Awakens panel was really fun. They brought out the new cast, the big players in the new cast. Side note, they show it in the series a lot, but like Game of Thrones a lot, but it just doesn't really occur to me, I guess, until I see her out of, that world, out of costume. Gwendolyn Christie is fucking giant. She's a giantess. It's so impressive and wondrous. That's completely out of away from everything else. I just had to say it. The panel was really fun. Chris Hardwick was having a great time. He kept talking about how I saw the trailer that they released and then I cried.
I've only ever seen Chris Hardwick have a bad time once, and that's when he saw that stupid fucking YouTube video, and then he was told how many hits it had.
He was so mad.
That's the only time I've ever seen Chris Hardwick having a bad time. And I saw him torn apart in House of a Thousand Corpses.
He was clearly having a great time.
Comparatively speaking, the YouTube thing was much worse. That cut deeper.
But but everyone seemed to be having a good time. J.J. Abrams was really eloquent about his love for Star Wars and how he desperately wants to deliver a good product. He actually also smacked down a fan at one point who was talking about, so you've done a lot of building new IPs and doing, unreleased IPs and doing social media and extra media for IPs. So now that you've experienced an established IP like Star Wars, I'm using IP only half as much as he did. Now that you've experienced an established IP like Star Wars and doing extra media for it, what are you going to take in the future to your new projects, your original projects? What have you learned about marketing your material? And J.J. Abrams looked at him and said, "You know what I find interesting? How often you use the word IP."
Did you want to buy some League of Legends champs?
So, I can't think like that. I don't think like a marketing person. It's a story. I'm trying to tell a good story. And if I do marketing for it, because there's things you have to do to make sure people, know about the movie and want to come see it, I try and make it as authentic as I'm trying to make the story. If I thought about it like an IP, I would think it would be a much worse movie. I like that sentence. That sentence gives me a new hope, if you will.
Ba 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 Star Wars ba 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 ba.
This is Two Nerds.
That was a joke.
Two Nerds Peaks episode.
Twin Peaks.
More than 2. Thank you very much. 12 peaks and counting. Okay.
I'll just throw a warning at the beginning. Watch your headphones, motherfuckers.
So, and everyone else, and then they brought on the legacy, they brought on, as they call them, the legacy players. That's what they call them. They brought on Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher, and they were delightful as always. Generally seemed to not give too much of a fuck about the proceedings, because why would they?
Oh, look, another sci-fi con. Like I give a fuck.
I've only been to a billion of these.
Let's try out Ernie Hudson and see if he is phased. Why am I here? Can I be in your movie? No. Oh.
They won't let me in the Ghostbusters movie either.
I ain't got enough tits, they said. I could grow some tits. Give me some pudding. And he eats pudding, and he gets man tits, and they cast him.
That'd be a much better movie, I think. Anyway.
Any movie is better with Ernie Hudson.
That's true.
What if Ernie Hudson was Lex Luthor?
Sold!
Oh, man. What if Ernie Hudson was also Batman?
Look, I would totally take the
Joker.
I would take the Ginge as Lex Luthor before I would take and completely not even voiceover by another actor. Just every time Lex Luthor has lines, they cut to my cat sleeping on a pizza box, and just for like 2 solid minutes, and then back. It's a good point, Lex.
We're living at the Ritz here.
That's just a better performance. Just more command performance than what Jared Leto gave. Anyway, but then they brought Harrison Ford, who is notoriously prickly, shall we say. They had been sharing a few stories throughout the panel about how Harrison Ford is not the friendliest, and they tell them better than I do, so feel free to go there for the stories.
I've always, and because I've seen Harrison Ford on lots of interview circuits, he's just a huge troll who does not give a fuck.
That's very clear.
At some point in his evolution, he stopped being a celebrity and became a troll. I think it was when he had made it a fuck you money.
That he did not need to give a shit about your bullshit opinion anymore.
He's like, I'm doing an interview on Conan O'Brien for Cowboys versus Aliens. All right, well, I'm gonna tear up a Smurf on live camera. That's gonna be the end of that. There we go.
And that's how he did. That's how he rolls. He was actually in a great mood. He bounded up the stairs and was happy to be there. And someone asked a question of the original cast and said, "So, the question was like, how do you feel the tone is different in this movie than the previous movies?" And again, I'm going to encourage you to go listen to his answer because it's incredibly well thought out, incredibly heartfelt, and incredibly good. And then the other two just start quoting the original series because they know that's what the fans actually wanted. Just make us feel like we're 12 again and watching Luke and Leia talk.
Well, and you know what? There's some of that. There are fans that just want that. Because if I can shift gears here for a second, I'm a fan who likes the technical side of things. I like to know how it's made. I like to know the dynamics between the actors and the production backstage. I want to know what happens. How did you fuckers all get in the same room and manage to crap out this masterpiece? How? Especially when one of you was George Lucas. How did you do it?
That's when the jungler fucks up and the rest of the team has to pick him up and carry him.
Clearly. But I remember there are a lot of fans that do just like the fucking pandering. I remember watching some Q&A footage from some sort of brony convention a couple years back, and it was like the first one that a bunch of the voice actresses did. And, like, most of the voice actresses were trying to answer questions legitimately at first. But the chick who does Spike refused to do anything but just, like, riff. And, like, the fans were like, ask legitimate question. And then, you know, like, Tara Strong or whoever would be like, oh, legitimate answer. And then, like, fucking the chick who does Spike was like, well, I'm Spike and I do this. And, yay, said the fans. And I'm like, what are you fucking eating up this popcorn for? When there's fucking gourmet ass shit coming out of their mouths right now. No, that's what some people want, I guess.
And you know what?
Blows my mind.
They gave him such a visceral, like, wink and a nudge and an elbow to the ribs that Harrison Ford got into it and started quoting the old movies too.
Well, and that's...
And then J.J. Abrams invited everyone to literally everyone in Hall H to a secret Star Wars concert right before Kevin Smith's panel.
Poor fat Kevin Smith.
And just last year at Comic-Con, he was talking about how his worst fear is the day he starts a panel and Hall H is empty. Because he knows his career is over. His worst fear literally came to life on Friday.
Thanks to J.J. Abrams.
Turns out, he was okay with it.
I wonder if J.J. Abrams was just, like, epic level fucking with Kevin Smith. I wonder if he heard that and was like, oh no, can we, like, do some sort of concert or something? What can we do to fuck over Kevin Smith?
And George Lucas not liking Kevin Smith very much. Because he doesn't.
No.
Chimed in from off stage where he's retired. I like this idea.
Can we do this?
He called up the guy who's working with JJ and said, Hey, no, I heard about the Kevin Smith thing. It's great.
Yeah, I'm with George R.R. Martin. We're having a pool party in his backyard, but could you do this thing for me? Because I think it'd be funny.
And that guy was like, sure.
Yeah. George Lucas and George R.R. Martin are in the George Club. Just for the record, they are fat old white guys who do absolutely nothing and make $1 million for it constantly.
Oh, that gift set that came out that you put up on Tumblr.
I'm sure it was something at Comic-Con of George R.R. Martin fucking on a trampoline naked in his backyard.
Hard at work on his new book.
Diving into his pool. Whatever, get yours, buddy. I want to be that someday. I want to be like people waiting for the 9th Colt Regan book, and I'm just like, but all this Xbox though. What else came out of Comic-Con that was cool news? I'm actually looking forward to an episode of BBC Sherlock. I might actually watch it because they're doing a Victorian one.
I didn't even know this.
Yeah.
What do you? There's more Sherlock?
Oh yeah, they're doing a little special Victorian episode. He's got the deerstalker and the pipe, and Watson's got like a fucking mustache.
Like, is it a Halloween episode?
No, it's like a Victorian episode.
They just like completely like a Christmas special sort of thing.
I mean, I don't know, but that's
fucking. I'm gonna watch the shit out of it.
That sounds pretty cool. What else? What else did I see out of Comic-Con?
I was hoping like you would tell me that there was a new series coming.
I don't know, maybe, but I do know that one episode is coming. So
new series, please.
There was one last thing I do want to touch on before we let go. This is going to contain some spoilers for the most recent season of Game of Thrones. So, yeah, 57 minutes. If you just want to hit the like button and get out of here, I wouldn't blame you.
Bye.
Bye. It's been good because nerds talked about it.
Or whatever.
So, okay, everybody is abuzz and, like, was bothering everybody involved, asking questions about whether or not Jon Snow was actually dead at the end of Game of Thrones. And also, why do I want to call him Usain Bolt? That's not his name in the least. Fucking Stannis.
Stannis the man is Baratheon.
Usain Bolt? Where did I get that from? He's a really fast guy, right? What the fuck?
Stannis Baratheon isn't even close.
No! Like, if it was Roose Bolton, I would understand, but it's not!
Maybe just because he got his ass kicked by Roose Bolton?
Maybe. But, Stannis has been confirmed dead. You know, he's gone. They just didn't want to film it because they thought it felt gratuitous.
Right.
But they keep talking about how, you know, Jon Snow is dead. He's fucking dead. Jon Snow is no more. Jon Snow has ceased to be. He is not pining for the fjords. He is an ex-Jon Snow.
I don't. Methinks the Queen doth protest too much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I mean, after, you know, if you haven't heard elsewhere, I'm done with Game of Thrones for a number of reasons. It had nothing to do with Jon Snow. That was like a present they should have given me a season ago. But yeah, I don't think Game of Thrones is going to treat me that well to give me a dead Jon Snow and leave him dead. I think zombie Jon Snow is going to come out in the grave and be like, Iron Throne. And that's going to be season 6.
Honestly speaking, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna buy it until I see him burning or in the ground or something. Because it's just not. Look, it's bad storytelling. It's a waste of a lot of build-up, and it's a waste of a lot of character development, more so than the other prominent deaths in Game of Thrones, and it's a waste of a good reveal that all your fans want. I don't buy it.
Yeah, I mean, The Walking Dead, which did have some Comic-Con stuff too. I didn't look into it because I've been done with that for a long time. As the Funko doll of Tyrese on my desktop will attest. They're going into the next season, and they did their death a long time ago that was pointless and meaningless and shitty. 2 of them, in fact. And,
right in a row.
Yeah, one at the end of the season, one at the start. They can tell you how to lose some fans.
Yep.
But yeah, that's about Comic-Con. Like we said at the beginning of the podcast, underwhelming. I mean, news, good news, bad news. I mean, overall news. It just wasn't anything like it was not last year, where it was like, hey, you're getting a fucking Black Panther movie, you're getting a fucking You're
getting a Defenders thing on Netflix.
Yeah.
You're getting some Iron Fist and Daredevil and fucking Luke Cage. No, it's serious. The stuff we talked about earlier? Yeah, that stuff's still a thing. Totally still a thing. Everything's proceeding well. And good for everything.
Am I doing the line? Do I get to do the line?
Go ahead.
All right. Everything is better when nerds talk about it. Oh, God, that was a good read. Good read. Cut, print, 10 of 10. It won't stop.
No, the podcast doesn't actually stop until I say the line.
Oh. But when the guests say the line, sometimes guests say the line.
I think it real hard.
Do you?
Yep.
That's disturbing. Mm-hmm. And one might say contrived. Almost like a comic book.
Everything's better when nerds talk about it.
Fuck it, let's get hardcore!